And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
Stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma, sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Bill Maher. Lately, Maher seems to be on a mission, dismantling what he calls woke logic piece by piece, and his latest target has sparked a fresh cultural clash. This time, the spotlight landed on Whoopi Goldberg, a veteran entertainer whose recent comments have stirred more than a few controversies over the past couple of years. But Maher didn't just disagree with her. He launched into a critique so sharp that it immediately caught the internet's attention. To supporters, it looked like a truth-telling moment. To critics, it sounded like another round in the endless culture war. Either way, the exchange has people talking again about media narratives, political double standards, and the strange intersection where celebrity, ideology, and public debate collide.
We have got to get past this endless, unforgiving, zero-tolerance mindset bent on punishing and disappearing anyone caught saying the wrong thing. The right response to speech you don't like is more speech.
The tension didn't appear out of nowhere. It grew from the long-running debates surrounding the panel of The View, where political discussions often become heated spectacles. Critics argue the show sometimes drifts into ideological territory where disagreement quickly turns into confrontation. Supporters say it simply reflects passionate political conversation. Either way, personalities like Whoopi Goldberg and Sunny Hostin have become lightning rods in these debates. When Maher previously clashed with Hostin over remarks she made about his views, the exchange spread widely online. So when Goldberg later weighed in, many viewers interpreted it as a continuation of that same cultural argument, one that has been simmering for years between traditional liberals, progressive activists, and commentators who feel the political conversation has shifted too far in one direction.
And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
The real flashpoint came when Maher discussed economic and social concerns he says many Americans share: jobs, economic stability, and policing policies that communities can trust. His point, at least as his supporters interpret it, was that voters often prioritize practical issues over ideological language. But critics say his framing oversimplifies complex realities. Goldberg responded with her own perspective, referencing political leadership and policies aimed at helping working-class Americans. The exchange quickly became less about policy details and more about interpretation.
Let's tear down statues of Lincoln and get rid of the police. Just, no. It's not that I've gotten old, it's that your ideas are stupid.
Moments like this highlight why Maher remains one of the more controversial voices in political commentary. He has built a reputation for challenging both conservatives and progressives, often arguing that modern political discourse rewards outrage over nuance. Critics say that approach sometimes leads him to oversimplify issues or provoke unnecessary conflict. Supporters say it's exactly what makes his commentary refreshing. The same dynamic often plays out on Real Time with Bill Maher, where discussions mix comedy with serious political critique. Whether viewers agree with him or not, Maher has clearly positioned himself as someone willing to question narratives that dominate mainstream debate.
The criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time and, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused.
One issue that frequently sparks heated conversation in American politics is accountability and the idea that no one should be above the law. That principle has been invoked in debates involving numerous political figures, including Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden. The controversies surrounding Hunter Biden's legal troubles have fueled partisan arguments across media outlets and political commentary shows. Supporters of the president argue the legal process should unfold without political interference, while critics claim the situation reflects broader concerns about fairness and political privilege. When commentators like Maher or television hosts on The View discuss these topics, the conversations often become symbolic of larger ideological battles.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You
his
really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all
No,
of a sudden?
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over.
Goldberg's comments about political leadership and accountability triggered another wave of debate. Some viewers felt she was defending the president too strongly, while others believed critics were misrepresenting what she actually meant. In today's media landscape, even a single statement can spiral into endless commentary clips, reaction videos, and opinion pieces.
This nation was founded on the principle that there are no kings in America. Each of us is equal before the law. No one is above the law.
What made the exchange especially notable was how quickly it spread beyond television audiences. Social media amplified every quote and reaction, turning the conversation into a wider debate about media bias, political loyalty, and ideological consistency. Viewers saw commentators dissecting every sentence, sometimes focusing more on rhetorical style than the substance of the argument itself.
So I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that
They're
the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground. They don't have to do that.
This dynamic reveals a deeper problem in modern political discourse. People tend to criticize wrongdoing fiercely when it comes from opponents, yet defend or downplay similar behavior from allies. Analysts across the political spectrum have pointed out that this selective outrage isn't limited to any single ideology. It's a widespread human tendency. In political media environments, however, it often becomes amplified.
You love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to bullshit.
Maher's criticism tapped directly into that frustration. He argued that political tribes often claim moral authority while overlooking contradictions within their own side. Supporters praised his willingness to call out what they see as hypocrisy. Critics argued that his commentary itself sometimes falls into the same trap, emphasizing certain controversies while ignoring others. Either way, the exchange sparked renewed discussion about fairness and consistency in political commentary.
Was it appropriate to bury the Hunter Biden?
You're talking about the press doing that?
He's saying that's what they did, and that is what they did. They buried the Hunter Biden story before the election because they were like, we can't risk having the election thrown to Trump. We'll tell them after the election.
And we know for a fact that that's what they did?
Of course. You don't
but
follow
I'm
this.
saying you know for a fact that that's what they did. I don't know what they did.
I know, because you only watch MSNBC.
No, that's not true.
Another layer of the debate involved media coverage itself. Over the past decade, trust in major news outlets has declined significantly, according to numerous surveys and polling studies. Many viewers now believe media organizations filter information through ideological lenses. Supporters of mainstream journalism reject that claim and argue professional reporting remains essential for democracy. But the perception of bias continues to influence how audiences interpret political stories.
Above any matters of politics or what's right or wrong, the one thing I know for sure about America is this. It's run by mean girls. Mean girls in the press and in politics and in life. And when they smell blood in the water, the lust to finish off a vulnerable person will never be denied.
The personalities involved also play a major role. Goldberg has spent decades as an entertainer and talk show host, often speaking candidly about social issues. Maher, meanwhile, built his career on irreverent political satire and confrontational debates. When two outspoken figures like that collide in a media ecosystem built on viral moments, the result is almost guaranteed to generate headlines.
Democrats run for office as if the voters don't live here, as if they don't go to the grocery store and Starbucks and the office, but they do. But a poll last year asked, if America is the greatest country in the world, more blacks and Hispanic Americans agreed with that than the white progressives. It asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agreed with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people. It asked if government should increase border security. Same result. Hispanic Americans are less okay with illegal immigration than whitey. And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them. Black people, they're just like us. I said there's a coalition of Trump voters, people who really like him. They certainly are those. And then there's people who don't necessarily like him that much, but they still think he's less crazy than stuff that strikes them as aggressively anti-common sense. Finally, new rule: stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma. Sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.